Hi there everyone and welcome. Dr. Plessis with another presentation on a lifestyle eating plan. And today we're going to discuss the Paleo Ancestral Primal Lifestyle Eating Plan. It's one of the things that I'm very excited about. I'm quite new to the Paleo Ancestral Primal Lifestyle Eating Plan, seeing that I've come from raw food and vegan and a vegetarian diet. And basically what the Paleo Ancestral Primal Lifestyle Eating Plan is based upon is that we should start eating as our ancestors did 10,000 years ago, before we actually got to the agricultural revolution. And I must say that I'm learning quite a lot about the Paleo Ancestral Primal Lifestyle Eating Plan. And as with the page diet, there's a lot of things that I agree with and some of the stuff that I don't agree with. But overall, I feel that it's a very good lifestyle eating plan. And bear with me through our presentation, just discussing an overview of the Paleo Ancestral Primal Lifestyle Eating Plan. So firstly, what's the most important steps? The first step is to eat real food. And what do I mean by real food? Real food is eating meat, fish and fowl, and natural fats from animals, coconut, nuts and olives. Then of course fruits and vegetables. And try and avoid processed foods that contain a lot of additives, preservatives and other chemicals, as these will upset your body chemistry. So as somebody said, to state it differently, if you cannot pick it, eat it, or catch it and kill it and eat it, then don't. So basically, if it's not something that you could go out and hunt or gather, it's not something that you should be eating. Well, what they also recommend on the paleo diet is to eat protein with every meal, and ideally this protein should be grass-fed or wild-caught. Try and eat at least half your vegetables raw. I have a lot of salads, and I also recommend to my clients and my patients a lot of salads. The other half of the vegetables, if you need to, then cook it. But remember that cooking destroys a lot of nutrition in the food. So it's better to have as much food raw as possible. And then, of course, organic and raw, organic and local, should I rather say, as far as possible. But please do not let the fact that you cannot get organic or local food or grass-fed or wild-caught food stop you from eating proteins and vegetables. Please try and limit your fruit to one serving per day, especially if your goal is to lose weight, seeing that the fruit contain a lot of sugar. And very important for the same reason to stay clear of bananas, papayas and mangoes if you're serious about your weight loss. Very important to eat a wide variety of foods, as this will provide you with a lot of nutrients, and it will also minimize the amount of toxins that you ingest from the foods. Just remember, a lot of these foods are sprayed with pesticides. And by just having a larger array of food, you will definitely minimize different toxins that you ingest from the different foodstuffs. Well, as mentioned, another very important step is to go hungry every day for at least a little while, and have 2 or 3 meals a day. By having 2 to 3 meals a day, not snacking in between, it actually allows your body to burn off excess fat. Very important to only eat when you're really hungry, and then from time to time just go hungry for the whole day, because this will basically force your body to dig into its stores and start burning fat to produce the energy to keep your engine running. Very important to get lots of sleep and to try and minimize your stress levels. Get some exercise at least 2 to 3 times a week for 20 to 30 minutes, and always try and exercise on an empty stomach. Very important to get some sunlight exposure, or alternatively to supplement with some vitamin D. Foods that should be avoided on the Paleo Ancestral Primal diet is grains. Grains is not very good for you. It can cause a lot of allergic reactions. It raises your insulin levels, and by raising the insulin levels, it leads to obesity and digestive disorders. Dairy is also a product that you should try and not consume, as the dairy as we find it today is homogenized and pasteurized. It contains a lot of growth hormones and antibiotics, and because of the casein, a very large protein in the dairy, it can cause immune responses and also promote insulin resistance. Legumes, very important to stay away from beans and lentils, and also included in this group is peanuts, peas, chickpeas, soya and soya products. Starches in general, and by starches I mean basically vegetables that's very high in carbohydrates. And the biggest problem here is potatoes. Very high carbohydrate content. If you have to eat a potato, try to eat a boiled potato, because the boiling gets rid of some of the starch in the potato. Be very careful of bananas, dried fruits and fruit juices, and all canned fruit because these are laden with hidden sugars. Very important to stay away from these. And then last but not least, alcohol. Alcohol is basically empty calories, and there is a few exceptions that's permissible in very limited quantities and volumes that we will discuss later in the slide presentation. Very important to avoid trans fats. What is trans fats? It's basically vegetable oils that's been changed. So margarine and anything that's deep fried is foodstuffs that you should definitely avoid. So a very bad combination would be French fries because it's potatoes laden with starch and then deep fried and trans fats. What you can use as far as vegetable oils go is olive oil, but avoid margarine at all costs. Processed foods and processed sugars, I also sometimes refer to them as non-foods because they look like food, but that doesn't mean that they are food. And included in this group is chips, donuts, snacks, cakes, baked goods, candies and ice creams, and all other processed foods. So if you pick up a packet and there's more than one ingredient, it's something that you should rather not be eating. Please stay away from processed meats. These are very high in salt and other additives, and all these chemical additives is toxic to the body, and it will also alter your body chemistry. Then quickly, what is the basis of this diet? The Primal, Ancestral, Paleo diet is basically the food matrix, and there's a few groups in which I've divided the food, or which they've divided the food. First of which is protein. The second one is vegetables. Then nuts and good oils, or basically fats, herbs and spices, and fruits. This is just an overview of it. I will make it available as a PDF download. So let's get into it and quickly look at each individual group. So the first group in the food matrix is protein, and you should consume at least 1.5 grams of proteins per kilogram of body weight daily. Please be aware that it should be lean meat, so try and have the meat as lean as possible, and you should ideally consume protein with every meal. So included in this group, eggs, chicken, trout, mackerel, and all the rest of it, you can read through it at your own leisure. Second group is vegetables. This should make up the bulk of what you eat, and like I said previously, I recommend at least half raw, but eat as much vegetables raw as possible. So if you can eat all your vegetables raw, that would be brilliant. And included in this group is avocados, beets, broccoli, mushrooms and so on. Please have a look at it. You can see sweet potato on the list, but as per usual with a sweet potato, try and have a boiled sweet potato just to get rid of some of the excess starch in it. Then nuts and good oils. Nuts, the measure is to have about a handful of nuts a day, and these include Brazil nuts, almonds, hazelnuts. Just remember that peanuts are not included in here for the same reason that we said earlier, that it's not really a true nut, but rather a legume, and also very high in gluten. Herbs and spices, please use fresh where possible, and you can go through the list yourself. Just what I want to mention on the previous one is coconut oil and coconut milk. Very, very good for you. Also very high nutritional value. And the coconut oil has also got some antifungal properties. Herbs and spices, once again, get acquainted with these, and you can see the salt on the Himalayan or Celtic sea salt. What's very important about Himalayan or Celtic sea salt is that it's basically not bleached, so it still contains all the minerals that constitute the salt, and basically very, very good for you. Fruit, 2 to 3 servings per day, and there's the list of fruits that you can have. You can see papaya and mango and banana on there, and as I said earlier, if you want to lose weight, try and stay away from these fruits, as they are very, very high in sugar. So I normally recommend that you be careful with fruit, especially in the early stages of weight loss, and that you rather avoid it as far as possible. But if you want to have fruit, 2 to 3 servings per day. So how do you put together the food matrix? Well, the most important thing is to try and have a healthy and a delicious meal, because if it's not delicious, you're not going to eat it. And we also need it to be healthy so that we can regain and rebuild our bodies, regain our health, and also lose weight in that process. So what you can do is to look at the food matrix and customize it to meet your specific needs. So there's no emphasis on portion size or caloric counting, but try and stick to a ratio of 2/3 vegetables to 1/3 of protein. But like I said, the vegetables should make up the bulk of any meal, and try and have protein with every meal. And as I said earlier, to lose weight, minimize the intake of fruit, or avoid it completely, and also very important to go slow on the good fats. It is good for you, but still very high caloric content, so try and minimize it as far as possible. So if you're trying to lose weight, what should your meal look like? Firstly, you should have a piece of lean protein with every meal, for example, a chicken breast or a piece of steak or some fish. And with that, you should combine it with multicolored vegetables, either as a salad, steam, or stir-fried. But like I said, I recommend that you have it raw as a salad, because it's got its most nutritional value when it's actually raw, and also for your digestion, it's best when the food is actually raw. Then to complete a meal, you can round it off with some avocado, olive oil, or a handful of unsalted nuts. I said earlier, try and have a meal like this 2 to 3 times per day. And very, very important, the big mistake that a lot of people make is to use artificial sweeteners. Please do not use any artificial sweeteners. On the Paleo Ancestral diet, they also don't really recommend honey in general. You will see on the page diet, they do recommend that you use a little bit of honey. So that's up to you, but once again, a lot of sugar, and it can alter the body's biochemistry, so use some common sense there. Beverages, it's something that we haven't covered yet. Normally recommended water, filtered water or spring water. Coffee, maximum of 2 cups a day. Herbal tea with no milk, no sugar, or no artificial sweetener. If you want to have some alcohol, what I normally recommend is red wine, 2 glasses per day. And then Rob Wolf, very famous in the Paleo circles, he's got an alcohol margarita that he's invented. 2 shots of gold tequila, juice of 1 lime, splash of soda water. And he recommends a maximum of 1 or 2 per night. So there's your options as far as alcohol go. You know, all of us want to go out and party from time to time, but I think the emphasis here is on moderation. Well, just some acknowledgement and resources. Not all of us know anything, and I know everything, and I learn stuff as I go every day. And I would just like to thank a few people, and also give a little bit of acknowledgement to a few people. You'll see there a list of those people, and especially Rob Wolf. I must say I've learned a lot of from Rob Wolf, from his podcasts, also from his website, and from his books that I've read. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation. You can share this presentation in any way that you want. The only condition is that you may not alter it or charge any money for it. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to speak to you soon. Thank you.